Videl was turned into a housewife. And this shouldn't be a derogatory term because I feel like guys are just like so inexperienced with like real dating in life always say it this way. It's like, yo, like she found her man, right? She found her dude, okay? And that was Gohan. And it's more important than just that, but it's the fact that Videl found someone who was completely comfortable being himself around her. And she could notice that. Women can sense that, okay? I've talked about it so many times on this channel. Gohan was traumatized as a child. He was traumatized in the form of fighting, martial arts, and everything that came associated with it, despite the fact that there would be times he would be enjoying himself if he was at least usually with Krillin family or friends, someone of that sort, maybe training by himself. When he was younger through Piccolo's initial training arc. Besides the point, Gohan was always in environments and in positions where he really didn't have control over who he could be or what he wanted to be. As soon as everything transpires after the Cell Saga and he essentially saves the world, he finally gets a chance at his own version of life. And when you meet someone like Videl, who is the daughter of the world's martial arts champion, and she's hardened, she's stubborn, she's a great fighter in her own right, that can soften her edges in the way that obviously it did. If Gohan was still trying to be someone that maybe he wasn't, and I think it's funny when you think about it, Videl thought Gohan had something to hide, and when she actually found out who Gohan really was, you saw her demeanor completely change, right? She probably assumed, and I think she did assume, that Gohan was someone that wasn't a good guy or wasn't a good person, had bad intentions, and she found out he's the guy that's responsible for why she and so many other people are actually still alive at that point in time on planet Earth. So I think it's important to consider that her being turned into a quote-unquote housewife is not a bad thing. It shows that she found someone that allowed her to feel feminine, that allowed her to feel like she could be truly herself, comfortable in her skin. I think any woman wants to feel that, and the same could be said for any guy that wants to feel masculine and comfortable in his skin as well. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's not that she was turned into a housewife. I think Gohan's energy, his demeanor, his approach to life, his authenticity of just being himself, I think that naturally lowered Videl's guard and turned her into the individual that wants to be at home, that wants to take care of her daughter, and her kids, if they plan to have any more, and just have that be her responsibility, obviously, is what I'm trying to say. That's what she wants her existence to be, and her role, and I think that's completely fine. So I don't see it as a negative that Videl is turned into a housewife. She just doesn't have the purpose she initially has anymore as someone that needs to fight crime. Remember, Videl was the city's best crime fighter, the police. Everyone relied on her, the mayor. They relied on Videl to fight crime and to rid the streets of bad guys in town. Gohan comes along, suddenly she doesn't need to do that, right? All of a sudden anymore. That's also a very important distinction I think fans will sometimes forget completely. Like, she was fighting crime by herself, guys. Like, Gohan comes along, they do their own thing now, great Saiyan man, great Saiyan woman, but she no longer has to carry that burden herself. Because we know Hercule wasn't necessarily fighting crime in that way at all. No, not the same way. So hopefully that makes sense and that answers your questions. From Kaioken Striker.